KSCrafters. First, I like to thank the first people who bought my digital cut file for my Memory Dex stand. As you know, the ones who follow me for a long time, normally Tracy Farr will do my tutorials. I send her the file, but since she has a daytime job, she just doesn't have as much as time as I do to design and things like that. So please know that I want to respect her because I value her work highly and she makes perfect tutorials. I do not do a good job on my tutorials, I know, but because there are already a few people who bought the file, I want to do a shorter version of the full tutorial. And I will show you how to make the bar, how to make the centerpiece, and how to make this piece and the base. I think for the people who already bought the file, it will be helpful to get started. If you are not satisfied with my tutorial, then you have to have a patience for 1 or 2 weeks, and then Tracy will have time to do the perfect tutorial because she always does perfect tutorials. So bear with me, I do my best and I try to explain as good as possible. In the cut file you will find this piece. The only thing you have to do is fold it on all score lines and put on the tape. And as I'm finished with folding, I will show you where I put the tape. But this is so you can get started if you already bought the file. And that will take the pressure off Tracy as well. And because I know she's eager to do the tutorial, but yeah, since her daytime job doesn't allow her to spend so much time in doing my tutorials, I want to give her a little more air, if you know what I mean. So, you have to put the tape on these sides and you have to put the tape on these both sides. Then you cut out 12 of these shapes and put 6 on top of each other. So you will have 2 of these with 6 layers. So that's what you need to do. Then you take off this backing and glue it against, so not on, but against the scored edge. So like this. And you do the same thing on the other side. Then you will have your base. Then you can take off the backing layer on here, put it onto the side, and I think it speaks for itself. The other side you do the same thing, and when you have done that, you can take off the backing from the other side and fold this flap over so this side piece will be stronger. So then you have your 2 upright holders. Please make sure that when you have this finished and the other side is attached, that you first glue on your designer paper. Because later on you don't have the opportunity to put it on, else if you forgot, you have to make a snip inside and hook it on. But please make sure that when you finish this part, that you put on your designer paper at least on both inside parts. Then you will have this strip, and this strip is the most important strip you will find in your cut file. I put on these tabs, but eventually you will not need them, but you can use them. I will explain. First you're going to fold on all First you're going to fold on all fold lines. See? Then you take off the strips of backing, and this is to make this bar more sturdy. Then you will find in the cut file 4 of these strips, and you glue them, and please make sure that you glue them nice in the center. because these strips will make your bar more sturdy inside the bar. And that was my problem when I wanted to design one. I wanted to have a middle bar that is strong. You could replace this bar to a wooden stick from 9 millimeters. I don't know what it is in inches, but you need a wooden stick from 9 millimeters. Not 10, not 8, not 8.5, 9. That's important, else your other parts will not fit. So if you want it to be as strong as possible, then you could use a wooden stick. So if you put the strips on the inside, then you can take off the backing on the outside, fold this part over and glue it shut. Then you will notice that you have a very sturdy bar for in the middle of your Memory Dex machine. What I did is I put in a paper straw in the middle just to prevent from having it bent. So on these parts I did not put glue because I personally did not use them, but I put them on because I know there are people who want to use them. So that's why there are glue flaps on the outside of the bar. Then you will have 4 of these rings. What you do, you attach 2 and 2 together. So you have 2 and 2. Then you will take this part and first make sure that you fold on all fold lines. So like this. I always start from the center to the outside. And if you want to fast forward, that's the benefit of a video, you can. But now I have to take off all the backings in order for me to show how you put the knobs together. Because you will have 2 of these, 1 knob on each side. But I think that's logical. Oh, see, I didn't bend this one. I thought why it's so pointing upwards. And I had so much fun designing it, but I had to make it 4 times again because some sizes were not good, and some people don't realize that how much work and effort it is to make everything perfectly fit and work well. I like people when they buy my files, excuse me, when they buy my files, then they know absolutely sure that they will work perfectly. And yeah, that takes time. It takes time to make a perfect cut file. When I was not designing myself, I bought a few cut files and they were so rubbish. Things that did not fit, and that's why I started to make my own 3D designs, because and I'm not talking about all the files I bought, but there were files that did not fit or match up or whatever. So, then you take one of the rings and you press it on gently. But you have to push it a little bit. All things work snug. And I did that on purpose, because if you make things not snug, I will first take off all these tiny pieces. But if you make things snugly fitted, you will feel and see yourself that things are more strong. Make sure that if you want to buy my digital cut file, because this one will also be in cutting dies, but make sure if you buy my digital cut file that you first look at my video that I made that is about my digital cut files, because then you have all the information you need in order to make my designs yourself. So then when you glue them on like this, then you will take your glue and put on the glue. And you can be a little generous. Normally I'm very tidy with my glue, but this needs to be really stuck. And then you can push this against each other. And what I normally do, I will put some clamps on it, those notebook clamps, to make sure that it's holding on tight. So then you will have 3 of those 2 times. And the smaller one, you will glue 8 on top of each other. Then you take one part where it states 3 and you put glue on this part. Then you glue this one on top and clamp it. I'm now pushing it with my hands, but trust me, if you give it time to really dry, it will make all the difference. Then you take the other part, put glue on it, and then you take the part with the 8. See, now I put on too much glue. Oh, Nicole. I will put 1 extra on it so I can cover the glue, because I wasn't thinking. See, that's why I don't normally do my tutorials. Then you have to take this one, and I always leave my bloopers in so you see that I mess up and make mistakes too. So, and people have a laugh. So, when you take these 2, make sure the square hole that's in the middle lines up perfectly. If you want to be sure, take your bar and gently push it through, because this is a snug fit. In the beginning, you will see that it takes a while before you can get it on the bar, but I did that on purpose. It needs to be a snug fit. Else I had to make glue flaps so you can glue these onto the bar, and then you will see your glue flaps when you turn the bar, and I think that's not nicely looking. So leave it like this, that's no problem, because, oh sorry, see, I put it the wrong way. Blooper number 2. Oh, you will have a laugh. I know, but hey, if it's made your day, it's perfect with me. Then you take this part, push it through the hole, Nicole. And what I do is I make it stand up, put some glue, oh sorry, see? And be careful where you put your glue. Oh. Okay, I will do it like this. I think that's better. See, that's why I love Tracy. Because she doesn't mess up as much as I do. Then you take on this and you push it through the hole. And hold it tight. That's the only thing you need to do. Make sure that the glue grips and that it can turn. And before you put on the other one, please make sure that you make the next piece that we are going to make 2 times. So it's very important that you do the steps in the right order. Then you take 6 of these. I've put only 4 on top of each other, but the other one I used to cover up the glue and the boo-boo I made. But you will get the picture. You need to glue 6 on top of each other and make sure the hole lines up. That's important. So this is 6 thick, and then you have 2 times 6 of these rings. This is 4, so I will glue on 2 more rings. I only do a little dab of glue in the middle, put on the next ring, dab of glue in the middle, and put on the next ring. Oh, and now my glue bottle thinks I'm having a holiday. And then what you do is take your ring, put glue on the back side and glue it against the other part, and then I will put glue on this ring, hold the other rings in my hand and glue it against this part. If you want, I didn't do it, but if you want, you can cover this up with a strip of paper, so it looks nicer and you don't see all the layers that you made with all the circles. See, and now my bottle doesn't want to cooperate anymore, but you will end up with a disc like this. And then when you have made 2 of these discs, you put them on the bar, so wiggle them on, and you will see that the bar holds them perfectly. Then you put on the other one, and don't forget to put on first this one that I put on, and then you can feed it through the hole and put the knob on the side. I hope this short tutorial will help, and as soon as Tracy did her tutorial, I will give you guys the link to her perfect tutorial, but then you know how to put the base together, and I think it will be helpful for the people who already are so nice to buy my digital cutting file. I wish you all a nice day. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below and I will be more than happy to help you. Have a great day. Bye bye.